what you need to know is, how do I make this public? How do I get it on the site? How do I control who can see it, who can edit it, and so forth. So I'm going to give you an overview and a run-through of how the actual SharePoint system works. So if you go back to this page menu, we've talked about it a number of times, and you see me use this check-in button. So this is where I have to talk a little bit. There are three related terms and functions in SharePoint that are important. The first one is saving, I guess they have sub components too, because they're tied into versioning. So the first one is save, and that does exactly what you think of doing when you save your Word document or your whatever kind of computer file you've been working on forever. You can save and close. As I said, that's one thing that's different on the ribbon, is if by default I click save and close here, it's going to save the changes I've made, and it's going to not allow me to keep on editing it unless I say edit again. But if you go to this page menu, what you'll see is, notice this button says check in. So that's the next layer. And the analogy I use with this is, this is something that until you see it, it'll become clear pretty fast. But the analogy that I use to explain it is Matryoshka dolls. You know what those are? Those Russian dolls that are one inside of another. So saving is the middle doll. Saving is the one that's all the way in the middle. So when you save it, it can still not be in the next layer. It's checked out. So checking in and checking out is the middle Matryoshka doll. In this case, I think we've got a set of 3. But the middle one, it's analogous to checking in and checking out a book at the library. So, or putting your chip down on something to say, don't touch. This is a really cool function, and it's a cooler function in SharePoint. Now we're talking about stuff that's just built in. This is just how SharePoint works. So if I go here, if I go and show you the contents of this library, and this is a button we're going to use a lot, and look in the Pages library, you're going to see there's some pages in here, and they're all in draft status, and some of them are checked out. So this one's checked out to Trevor, and this one, the one that we've been working on, is checked out to me, and these other 2 are not checked out to anybody, but they're still drafts. So what that means is, if another person who has rights to edit files in this site were to come right now and want to edit this page, they couldn't do it because I have it checked out, which is similar to having a book checked out from the library. If I've got it, you can't get it because I've got it. But I'm not working on it. I've got it saved, so I can walk away and leave it be, and no one can modify it, and I can come back and finish what I was doing on it at any time. And anybody else that has rights, some kind of rights in this section of the website, can come see and say, hey, Rich, you got that document checked out. Are you going to be done with that soon? Can you check that in? I've got work I need to do on it, or whatever, because you can collaborate. But each person can hold on to something until it's ready to publish. And then the last doll on the outside is the publishing one. So when you publish a page, you have to have it saved, by definition. You have to have it checked in, by definition. And then it becomes publicly accessible. And so that one, when you say publish the page, then everyone can see it. But the neat thing is that then this is all tied back into something, into versioning. So this is where there's unavoidable terminology. SharePoint saves documents in what we call major and minor versions. And if you're familiar with the Dewey Decimal System, then it's easier to understand because the versions are numbered, and we saw that when we were looking at the versions of this document. I'll temporarily, let's see, is publishing workflows turned on this already? Probably. Yeah, so I'm an approver, actually, so I can show that. So if we go to this page and we look at the version history, page history, you see these numbers, .1, .2, .3, .4, .5. These are what we call minor versions. So every time you check a document in, you make a minor version. So save changes in between minor versions are really just like you would do or expect to do in a document like in Microsoft Word. When you save it, you wipe out your previous change and you replace it with whatever you saved. But when you check something in and then check it back out again, you put a hold on that you can then revert back to. And those are called minor versions. So each time I check a page in, I create a minor version. So it's .1, .2, .3, it could be .500, .501, .502. Each time I check it in, I'm going to make a minor version. Now, when I'm ready to publish this page, publishing is synonymous with making what we call a major version. So if I go back to my page, which I can do at any time, just click on the name of the page. Oh, and by the way, did you see that? Where was that? Page history, sorry. Did you notice this shows the changes that I made? So you can go back and look at this and say, oh yeah, he removed this text from that paragraph in that version. I want to get that version back.